All right, folks, as many of you have noticed, AI, my friends, is pumping. And it is pumping pretty hard, although Bitcoin's only up 4% at the time of the recording of this video. Near is up 8. BitTensor's up like 13 or 14. And a lot of these AI coins are actually doing very, very well and have been doing well for the last day or so. Why is that? Because BlackRock, Global Infrastructure Partners, and Microsoft are launching a new AI partnership. Now, forget about Global Infrastructure Partners and MGX. BlackRock and Microsoft, yes, two of the biggest Illuminati people are teaming up for AI, and therefore it makes perfect sense that all these AI cryptos are pumping the last day or two. Actually, no, it doesn't, because they don't really have anything to do with this. But anything that's actually good with AI is going to affect those coins a lot. 100 million initial investment potential will enhance American competitiveness in AI while meeting the growing needs for energy infrastructure or power economic growth. Now, I'm guessing a lot of these people are like, maybe my coin will get some of that $100 billion. Doubt it. But it does actually result in a lot of FOMO. So the time to develop more powerful AI capabilities will require significant infrastructure. This is from Microsoft itself. To support it today, BlackRock, Global Infrastructure Partners, Microsoft, yours truly, and MGX announced the Global AI Infrastructure Investment Partnership to make investments in new and expanded data centers to meet growing demand for computing power, as well as energy infrastructure to create new sources of power for those facilities. These infrastructure investments will be chiefly in the United States, fueling AI innovation and economic growth, and the remainder will be invested in U.S. partner countries. The partnership will support an open architecture and broad ecosystem, providing full access to on a non-exclusive basis for a diverse range of partners and companies. NVIDIA will support GAIIP, offering its expertise in AI data centers and AI factories to benefit the AI ecosystem. NVIDIA is a big part because obviously they're chips. GAIIP will also actively engage with industry leaders to help enhance AI supply chains and energy sourcing for the benefit of its customers and industry. The partnership will initially seek to unlock $30 billion of private equity capital over time from investors, asset owners, and corporates, which in turn will mobilize up to $100 billion in total investment potential when adding debt financing. So this is why all those AI cryptos are up, because big daddies, Microsoft, and BlackRock have actually done this huge AI infrastructure project. And of course, like there's many people that are supporting it, including His Highness Sheikh Tainoon bin Zayed Al Nahyan, chairman of MGX. And of course, obviously there's the chairman and CEO of Microsoft, chairman and CEO of BlackRock, and of course, all these other companies that are actually supporting this. So like 4 big companies, but mainly the big names are BlackRock and Microsoft, of course, that are forming this alliance. And that's why AI has hype. And that's why the narrative of AI is going to do extremely well in the next bull run. So yes, this big partnership, although has nothing to do with the cryptocurrencies and crypto coins themselves, is definitely pumping up the AI sector. I do think the rest of September will actually be bullish on the second point. Because rate cuts are coming tomorrow. Now, I would be weary of tomorrow. I do think it's going to be a 25 basis points, like I've said many times before. I expect a contraction after Powell announces, and that's at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So I would set some lower buy orders there, maybe 3,000 points lower, just to see if you can get them or not. Because if he only says 25, I do think it's going to dip. If he says 50, that might happen anyways because people panic a little bit and then jump back up. So setting buy orders at maybe 2,000, 3,000 below the current price is probably a good idea because I do think it'll pump up pretty fast. For longer term data, if you actually look at the dollar index, it's almost below 100. It's like 100.99 at the time of this recording. If you look at the 3-month pattern of the dollar index, it's going down significantly, and I do think it'll be below 100, which will be very, very good for crypto because the dollar index needs to be below like 92 and around 92.95 for it to be optimal, but below 100 will actually get people going there. So dollar index, I think, will eventually favor crypto. I think the rate cuts making bonds less competitive against crypto will be really, really good for crypto as well. As well as I do think Jerome Powell is just going to be more dovish in his speech than before. And I do think like with the all-time high stock market, I do think crypto will eventually catch up. Plus, if you look at the 4-year cycle, we're at about that time where we definitely should go up according to the last cycle. And of course, there's still a lot of money in crypto from BlackRock and the others, and they may have been done accumulating at this point and just let the coin fly if you believe in those kind of theories. So realistically, I definitely think the rest of September will actually be fairly positive with a slight dip starting tomorrow, unless we have some unforeseen circumstances. Like September, based on this price, is already positive because we started September at about 57, 58K. Now we're at around 59, 60K. So even if it were to end right now, we'd be 2K up for September. So the Rectember thing really isn't working this month unless they basically drop like for the rest of the month, which I don't think they'll do. I do think we will end the month significantly higher, and that will be a turning point for the market. And I do think the rest of the year will be fairly positive. There's a new thing. Well, it's not really a new thing. Steppen was in it, but Move to Earn might actually be bigger this time around. They've actually like done some research, and I'm not really sure where they came up with these numbers, but they said like an active day at work is worth about $1.98 to the government and over $4 to the corporation. Now, I don't really know whether the government or the corporations will actually support something like this, where they like you have to wear like something, and if you move around enough, I guess during the day, you get paid more or something like $4. That would actually incentivize some people. But obviously, like, most corporate jobs are desk jobs where you don't move around much. So I'm not really sure how that works. Maybe the government will, pay you to move around. But at the same time, I don't really know how they would actually track that. Because you can just put you can catch a squirrel, put the movement thing on there and have the squirrel move around all day. Or just basically put it on your dog as well and have it run around the yard. I feel like that has a lot of issues, but there are a couple of big names in crypto that I think Move to Earn can be a pretty good thing. Now, I don't think getting people to participate in Move to Earn will be particularly hard, because we saw what happened with Steppen. We actually saw that a lot of people were actually willing to actually use Steppen once they actually paid you tokens. I'm just not really sure where the money for those tokens will actually come from to keep those tokens high in price. Because as you've seen with Steppen, it's basically dead now at this point. And I'm not really sure if you could actually make a project that is self-sustaining, because you'd have to get some big sponsors through that. Now, I think that data could actually be instrumental to health organizations and companies. Maybe if they want to sell medicine or stuff like that. And obviously it could actually benefit governments, because obviously people, especially those with public healthcare systems, because obviously people that are incentivized to do that generally are a little bit healthier. If you move around a lot, if you have exercise during the day, that generally is good for your health, and it doesn't lead to bigger health problems later. And God knows that people spend a lot of money on health. So that might actually be worth it to the governments, but they would actually have to find a way of funding it to keep the coin and the projects going for those companies. And now that the project died, like Steppen is kind of dead now, but that might be a new thing in the crypto market. Hedera has donated its entire coin base to the Linux Foundation. So that's really not all that surprising. This has been in the works for quite a while. I think people can no longer say the Hedera thing is not open source. They completely donated it to Linux, and because of that, they are actually the code is out there, and I think Linux might actually use it in some of their tech projects, which I think will actually benefit Hedera Hashgraph. So yes, it is no longer closed source. I do believe it is actually open source, and it will actually at least that tech stack will actually be used for certain things within the Linux ecosystem. And I think there's some partnerships that HBAR is actually working on that will actually benefit Hedera, as well as Linux and other blockchains. Some of that technology could actually be used to do other things. Ton and Curve have actually partnered up on a stablecoin swap initiative. Ton is definitely making a lot of inroads into other blockchains, and I think this will definitely help Ton in the long run. The partnership introduces Curve's Finance CFMM technology to TON, optimizing stablecoin swaps with reduced price volatility and slippage. The TON Network, the TON Foundation, a nonprofit organization supporting the development of open network TON blockchain, has announced a partnership with Curve Finance, a decentralized exchange. The partnership will collaborate to incubate a new TON-based stable swap project to improve user experience and stablecoin trading on the TON blockchain. The TON-based swap project will use Curve Finance's constant function market CFMM technology, known for minimizing the price impact on stablecoin and equivalent asset swaps. It's written a QA. There's stuff on Cointelegraph about this. So they're basically going to integrate CFMM into TON. It allows stablecoin swaps with reduced price volatility and lower slippage, resulting in more efficient asset exchanges. Stuff like this cross-chain will be very popular in the future, and I definitely see this as a good for TON and Curve. So they're saying the collaboration with TON Foundation aims to improve the stablecoin trading experience on TON, making TON-based trading more accessible and accelerating the blockchain's pace of adoption. TON has enough adoption as it is because of Telegram, but this definitely will help, and I can only see this actually getting more people into the TON ecosystem, getting more people onto their DeFi, their apps. So I'm even more bullish on TON because of that. Yes, I don't think Durov's arrest will actually affect TON's effectiveness in the future, and I think they'll actually work something out. So yeah, very, very good for both TON and Curve. So Base has actually shattered records. Now, this is the reason why I've been telling people to not buy other L2s outside of Base. I mean, outside of like Aerodrome and Base projects, because they are eating it for lunch. Like their TVL is quickly catching up with Arbitrum's, and they just shattered transaction records with over 4.5 in a single day. So basically, this milestone cements Base's position as the leading layer 2, showcasing its growing popularity and robust ecosystem. The following is an excerpt from the Block's Data Insights newsletter. Coinbase's layer 2 solution, this is from the Block by the way, continues to dominate the scaling race, shattering records with over 4.5 million transactions on Saturday, 2 days ago, or 3 days ago actually. The milestone cements Base's position as the leading layer 2. I mean, I think in terms of that, it's already surpassed Arbitrum. The TVL has a way to go because like the longer you're there, the more the TVL is, and they haven't had enough time. The surge in transactions represents a significant leap from Base's already impressive performance, highlighting its rapid adoption and scalability. This growth trajectory puts Base far ahead of other L2 solutions, demonstrating Coinbase's successful strategy in the competitive scaling landscape. And like I said, because it's this way and they have the support of Coinbase, which cannot be underestimated, by the way, they're going to eat other L2s for lunch. So I do not think like stuff like Arbitrum, Polygon will do quite as well in the next bull run. Base has actually been up for the least amount of time out of all of them, and it's already eating them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I think it will cannibalize them as time goes on. Now, I'm not saying Base is going to be the only L2. Sony just made their own L2 for gaming. That will obviously exist, but that's used for Sony's own purposes. And even though Base doesn't have a token, there's plenty of projects on Base that you can actually look at investing, whether it's meme, DeFi, or something else. I just don't think like putting money in like other L2 projects is a very good idea right now. So basically, I think some of it might actually be the wrapped BTC, CBBTC on this, and that is both on the Ethereum and Base networks. Obviously, there's not much competition there. If it's only Ethereum and Base network, no one wants to use base layer Ethereum because it's really, really expensive. Obviously, Base fees are very, very cheap, and they have the wrap coin on both Ethereum and Base networks. So, I mean, the wrap coin is an ERC20 token backed 1-to-1 by Bitcoin held at Coinbase. There was some controversy on this that Coinbase was kind of using this to sell BlackRock paper Bitcoin, but Brian Armstrong has come out and very quickly cleared up that dispute, and he's saying that that is a lie and a scam. And of course, BlackRock wouldn't be very happy if Coinbase sold them paper BTC and IOUs, and I don't think you want to make BlackRock unhappy. So that's probably not much of a thing. So yeah, CBBTC is probably going to introduce more liquidity for Base. Base already has decent liquidity, but this just helps it a lot. And I can't really see other L2s outperforming Base in the bull run. So if you're in Polygon, if you're in like Arbitrum Optimism, I would actually think about switching to another L1 or maybe to some Base-based tokens because Coinbase support is just so huge. when you're competing with other L2s. They have a lot of customers, they have a big exchange, and base projects are going to get listed on Coinbase faster than other L2 projects. So unless you are really attached to one of the other L2s for some reason or other, I would think about making a move to base or making a move to another chain, because I just don't think the other ones, L2s, are actually going to work that well. Now that base is actually shattering records, surpassing or catching up in TVL, and has a very bright future ahead. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.